This is the story of how Samsung mistreats users of their expensive flagship devices. At this point, devices mostly impacted by their policy are previous Galaxy Note devices, especially the phablet Note 2 and tablet Galaxy Note 10.1. Both the phablet and tablet lines of devices are being deliberately limited by not providing significant updates for more than a year. At this point, both Note 2 and Note 10.1 2012 edition are still on a more than 1-year-old 4.12 firmware, although 3 major updates 4.22, 4.3 and 4.4 have been published in the meantime. Note 10.1 is globally still on 4.12, but Note 2, however, did get 4.3 updates in some countries. Nevertheless, many providers still have 4.12 as latest official firmware. Those Note 2 users who did receive 4.3 updates found out that most new features included in Galaxy S4 and Galaxy Note 3 were not included in 4.3 update. This also includes the Air Command and S Pen apps and features which are the whole point of Note devices. Even the TouchWiz interface kept the same design layout. Lags, of which was most notable the dialer lag, and glitches which plagued the Note 2, are still there in 4.3. There have also been reports of battery drain, and weak optimization for Note 2. Additionally, there is also a serious compatibility issue within the Note product line itself. As I already mentioned, the most important aspect of Note devices is the S Pen and its features. However, Note 3, Note 10.1 2014 edition, and Note 12.2 have newer S Note app versions, so S Notes cannot be synced anymore between 4.3 and 4.12 devices. I'm not sure what is the situation with Note 2 on 4.3, but presumably, it still has the old version of S Note. To bring in even more confusion, Samsung reportedly brought the new version of S Note for older devices on their Samsung store. However, this new version does not integrate into the system and doesn't sync properly. Not to mention that all Note 10.1 2012 edition models, and some Note 2, which are stuck on 4.12 do not support Gear because the OS is out of date. Some apps are slowly not getting supported on 4.12 Android firmware. The number of those apps will grow exponentially until the end of this year. This could render those Note devices unusable for some people even before the warranty ends. It is obvious that OS updates are being deliberately slowed down by Samsung. I think this is happening because they are afraid of negative impact on sales of new models Note 3 and Note 10.1 2014 editions. There is certainly no problem with hardware. Yes, a sensor or two might be missing on older devices when compared with the new ones, but majority features could still work fine on older models. In fact, this was proved by developers on XDA who successfully ported Note 3 features on Note 2. And here we come across another interesting phenomenon. Here comes the Knox. It is supposed to be the enterprise security feature, and it is for some 0.1% of users. For the rest 99.9% of us, it is just a tool which enables Samsung to control tightly the ability of users to achieve root access, and use things like the above-mentioned mod, which adds features, which should have been implemented by Samsung in the first place. If the root is done, Knox flag is activated, and warranty is gone. This cannot be reverted. I'm not saying that everyone should be able to root and keep warranty, but I'm just pointing out the level of aggression towards it. Unfortunately, the Knox flag could also get triggered accidentally too. For instance, during normal, official flash process. Similar cases were reported on XDA. One more example of this foul policy is the S Note Windows app. It exists and it's on the Windows Store. It's fully functional, but locked only for Samsung ATIF devices. Even though the majority of Note users also have Windows PCs and could really use a Windows S Note to view and edit S Notes. In fact, this is possible by a workaround provided on XDA. So it's not a hardware issue. It works on all Windows 8 devices. Once again, we can see how Samsung doesn't care for their users. Their costs and losses in unlocking the S Note Windows app would be insignificant, but the users would benefit a lot. Still, they fail to see it the right way. In all of this, one can only notice the following. Not only is there a lack of support, but things are actively done to force users to abandon devices within few months of usage, just to buy new devices. There are so many bad aspects of such policy. Ecology not being excluded. It is clear that economics are essential, but when all focus is set on economic part, things are bound to fall apart sooner or later. Their policy seems to be getting out of hand. They are spitting out new models on daily basis, but provide very limited support for existing users. Devices get maybe one update within few months, and that's it. The numbers are probably still fine for them, but this will backfire soon. Yes, if they provided proper updates for older but still very functional devices like Note 2 and Note 10.1 2012 edition, they would lose few sales of Note 3 and Note 10.1 2014 edition, but they would keep their customers, which would buy Note 4, Gear smartwatch, Note 12.1 etc. Instead, they will lose most power users at first. And later the rest will follow. Actually, even though I will now most probably get attacked by Samsung fanboys, accusing me of crying and whining, I must say that I actually really like Note devices, and all the potential that they bring. I am a dreamer. I actually think the world would be a better place, and life slightly better, if things were done properly. So, this long lamentation is actually my pledge to Samsung to make things right and start providing support before it gets too late. Please, like this video if you agree.